Welcome back to Shem's Universe. So today, guys, we're going to go over the manifesting all-stars for numerology. So this applies if you're a life path or an expression number that I'm about to bring up. This definitely will apply to you. The thing with the manifesting all-stars is that these numbers that I'm about to bring up, these exact compound numbers, are very prone to manifesting both good and bad, depending on what their energy is. So even though they manifest easier, it also comes with a bit of a cost, because like the whole idea of law of attraction, like if you think positive things happen, if you think negative things happen, applies to them a lot more in comparison to other life paths. So even though they have an advantage when it comes to manifesting, it's only an advantage if you can actually control it. So let's begin. The first life path to cover is the 13/4. That's one of the more major life paths when it comes to manifesting, especially wealth. People with 13/4 tend to outwork other people. They tend to be very creative, and they tend to have a lot of leadership and innovation, and they can push things through and see through their agenda. So it's definitely a very strong life path. In an expression number position, I would say that the person is just going to be known to outwork other people. They'll be even more of a racehorse in comparison to somebody who's just a regular life path 13/4, where they have to learn those things. That's a karmic debt. In the expression number position, that karmic debt might be pronounced, meaning they might have bad luck, but they usually suck in that negative energy and then make a lot from it. So that's the thing, is that 13/4 usually turns negative situations into positive ones depending on the person. The 11 is another one. It definitely falls in the all-star list. Life path 11 people and expression number 11 usually can just speak things into existence. They're very charismatic. They know how to get what they want just through their sheer energy alone. The idea that confidence is just unfiltered energy is very true. The 11 is definitely an enunciation of that. And what I mean by that is the 11 has a way of just believing in themselves, and then the way they feel and the way they think ends up translating to their reality. So they can just bend reality by saying something to you and you're like, that's not logical, that's not true. And then they make it true just through some peculiar way. Next one's a 22. 22 is definitely up there when it comes to being a master builder. Whether it's your life path or expression number, you definitely are in the all-star list for sure. Life path 22 people, they can just take action. They usually just succeed just because they know what they're doing. They're usually pretty rigid planners, and they understand that things can also go wrong. Because of that 4 energy, they're very pessimistic. So they'll see the good in things, but they'll also look out for the bad or the loopholes of where things can go wrong, and then cover for that as well. So life path 22 is by far one of the best when it comes to manifesting, just through their sheer energy alone. Obviously, the next one's going to be the 33. 33 is very good when it comes to, I would say overall, 33 is good when it comes to almost speaking things into existence like the 11, but it's a little bit different. The 33 is, excuse me, it's very connected with the Akashic realm. Arguably, like I was telling you guys, the 33 could arguably be one of the last reincarnations anyways that somebody exists within. So that this is like where you're at your peak performance, your strongest, your prime. So if you're a life path 33, then you're definitely going to be able to manifest faster, but you're going to have a lot of opposition. That's why I was kind of selecting my words a lot. 33s usually have a lot of opposition. The expression number 33 is a bit different. It's more of like a weapon to you when it's your name number. So when you have 33 as simply a name, it could be very beneficial to you, because you have the ability to teach other people and they'll listen. You have the ability to maybe have some sort of artistic talents that you can showcase and have the double energy of the 3 to then get famous for it. You can get a lot of money because of the Venetian energy of the 6. So it works out quite well in those ways. Overall, the 33 of all 3 life paths, master number life paths, are the hardest, just simply because they have to go through more opposition than the 22 and the 11 by far. Next one, of course, is life path 8. So my 8's out there. We made it. Cool. The life path 8 is a bit of a blessing and a curse. That's why I guess it's 2 circles. Maybe that's what it stands for. But you can make a lot of money, or you can make a lot of abundance, and you can create a lot of good opportunities. But you can also create a lot of negative opportunities, or negative situations, I should say. Because the number 8 has infinity attached to it. You flip 8 on its side, it's just infinite energy. So with somebody with the 8, what they typically do is they end up having bad situations occur, and then they just think about the negative situation that they're in, the negative circumstance, and don't think positively. So in turn, they can't change and put light into the darkness because they don't see any light. So they just reside in the dark, and they just keep going more and more and more perpetually into the darkness until they just see all around failure and For some 8s, it could lead to destitution, homelessness, and death. So you got to be very careful. Because your thoughts, words, and actions are more pronounced in other life paths, you guys are the karmic gods, the life path 8s, you got to be very careful with the way you speak, the way you think, and what you do. All those things are very heavily attached to karma and with the universal law of karma due to Saturn. So everything that you do, where somebody who can maybe do something immoral and might not see any payback or retribution from the universe for years to come, or maybe it's through their children, or maybe not until next reincarnation, the 8 will see it within like a day or two. So if you're a life path 8 or even an expression number 8, understand this. Karma is very heavily attached to you, more attached to life path 8s as it's a karmic life path. With the expression number 8, you guys just have very good business acumen. You guys do very well in like athletic sports, politics, or any sort of high risk profession involving like just a lot of money, dealing with lump sums of money. That's what 8's really good at, is being in high stress situations and being the person that can actually step up to that challenge. So taking the negative, once again, like every other life path that's in this sort of list, this all-star list, and turning it into positive. So that's the all-star list for numerology, guys. If you didn't make that list, understand that it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be less wealthy than these individuals. Arguably, it could be the opposite, that you're actually more, because you're less connected to karma. You're less connected to that thing that's going to make you manifest quicker, which is karma. So understanding that, you can take that in 2 ways. One, you can say, well, I just got to go hard to manifest, which is true. But 2, you can also understand, like people like life path 3s and 5s, even 6s, you guys are the luckiest life path, and I named none of you at all in that list. And you guys get a lot of money, you guys get very famous, you guys showcase a lot of different creative elements. But if you guys do things like crime or illegal things, I'm not telling you to do this, but you might not see the retribution from the universe as fast as like these master numbers who are supposed to be mature souls. The 8 or the 4, which is both considered karmic life paths and just karmic numbers to have in your core chart in general. So understanding that, just realize that even though you're not heavily connected to the karmic realm, you still will see karma and you still will see justice, just not as fast as these other numbers. So you can either use that to go harder at what you're doing, or you can use that and just say, well, I could probably get away with a lot of stuff in this lifetime and let's see what I can do. It's all your choice on that. This is very impersonal. It's not really about saying this number is better than this one or this number is better than that one. Everything has its own special attributes. What I really should have named this video is just where the most karmic life paths or numbers to have. Because that's the actual truth. The only thing with that is that when karma is applied to something, that means that karma is going to respond quick. And that response equates to manifestation. You're manifesting either a positive or a negative, depending on your polarity. All right, so that does conclude the video for today, guys. If you have any questions for me whatsoever, just leave in the comment section. Aside from that, please like, subscribe. Holla at me. For today, guys. Peace.